Zebec and Walmart. This is pretty. Hold on, let me plug this in. This is pretty crazy. Zebec and Walmart. Wow. So we'll get into that and more today. Cue my guy Indigo Saint. Let's get it. Boom. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting. So we binge on our Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing.
What is good, Blackrue crew, in here on a Tuesday? Of course, let's hit you with our affiliate partner, DCENT Wallet, right now.
Your crypto deserves the best protection. So why settle for less? DCENT Crypto Wallet isn't just another wallet. It's safe, secure, easy to use, and supports your favorite cryptocurrencies all at the touch of a button. And now with my exclusive link, you'll save $30 on your new wallet. Better security, smarter investing, $30 in your pocket. Click on the link now and secure your better security today.
All right, so we got some regulars in the house here. Crypto Bullish, Delta Ghost. Let's see, Crypto Crossroads Show. Dave F. E in the house. Our moderator in Telegram is E. Shout out to you, E. Biz. Terrell 504. What's up, Terrell? PJ Repa. WF Capital in the building. Anthony Gallion, Bugatti 11. Creative Control in the house. A-Train in the house. Oh man, we got some royalty in the house here with y'all. Appreciate it, guys. Hey, what's up, Marie? Marie in the house. Marie Villas, Dreamer. Let's go. Patron in the house. Hey, guys. Another day, another great set of Zebec news. Let's go ahead and share the screen here. Zebec and Walmart connections. Craziness. And we also got here, let me see, which screen are we sharing? This one. We also got here. Okay, is this what I want to share? Yeah, this is what I want to share. Or not. We want to share. Okay, like I've done this before. Okay, we want to share. We want to share individual tabs so you can hear the sound actually. Let's go here. So let's start with this news here where we have. So this is from Ghost. So first he says, guess who else is partnered with Zero Hash? And he has some news here from Chad Steingraber, which is he's a great follow here on Twitter. Definitely go give him a follow if you haven't already. It says Walmart OnePay crypto deal is with a company called Zero Hash. Guess what Zero Hash is using as a stablecoin? RLUSD. Now, not only are they using RLUSD, they're also using USDC, but more on that later, okay? But let's go to the actual news clipping or the actual like MSNBC where they talked about this, okay? And I'll bring that up for you right here.
Which, regular folks, people, American cases, and just the ease of which, regular folks, people who, go to Walmart, there are 150 million Americans who use Walmart online or in person every week, can now actually have crypto in the very same app. They can buy it, they can hold it, they can store it, they can trade it if they want. And then when they want to go pay for something, they can, turn it into cash and like we said, go, OnePay is actually integrated into the checkouts of Walmart. So it is, I think, a milestone in that case, Carl.
All right, Hugh, thank you.
Integrated into their checkout. They can buy and sell crypto. This is from Zayef Crypto. Breaking: CNBC just announced live that Walmart will now accept crypto, BTC, ETH, and XRP via OnePay Cash. Over 150 users can now use crypto for payments. Mass adoption isn't coming, it's here now. Okay. Very, very true. Now, if we go back to Chad Steingraber and what he said, he has here OnePay, the fintech firm majority owned by Walmart, will soon offer cryptocurrency trading and custody on its mobile app. CNBC has learned OnePay will offer customers access to Bitcoin, Ether, and later in the year, this year, with the help of startup Zero Hash. According to people with the knowledge of the matter who declined to be identified before an official announcement. Okay, so we don't have to listen to more of this. They just end up saying that they want to create, Walmart wants to create their own everything app, and they say this for almost everything now. It's like they're trying to get into people's heads, everything app, everything app, everything app. So, there are going to be multiple super apps in which this would be one of them. This OnePay, right? Zebec will have their own super app. Robinhood will be its own super app. So there'll be multiple super apps out there that have kind of connectivity with each other, and that's what I expect kind of moving forward here. And then he has another post here. Ripple USD supported on XRP and Ethereum. Okay, there we go. We got that. Now, we know Zero Hash is teamed up with Zebec, and Ghost had this posted right here. We can go listen to this and listen to Simon talk about it. So let's go ahead and listen to this. Shout out to Ghost. If you guys aren't in his Zebec community on X, you're missing out. He's also spoke in, I think, one of the very first spaces they brought Ghost up to speak. And, it was a very great time. Ghost was classy as always. And Ghost and I did a spaces back in the day too. I think either before that or right after that. But very classy gentleman. Ghost, definitely follow him on X if you haven't already, guys. So let's listen to this here.
Zero Hash has been building the turnkey regulatory infrastructure needed to launch compliant crypto products and serves the entire industry from startups all the way to Fortune 500s. Zero Hash's payment rails will be supporting Zebec's real-time payroll product very soon in the US and eventually to our global markets as well.
Zero Hash has really been through it all. And really what we do is we bring stability and resiliency to all of our partners. We're excited to work with Zebec. A lot of critics think that crypto is like some unregulated industry, but the truth is that when you connect fiat systems to blockchain systems, it's hyper-regulated. There's a lot of rules that you have to follow, and Zero Hash has really mastered the game when it comes to that. So in the US, where we were founded, where a majority of our business is, you have federal regulations and state by state regulations that you need to follow. And so we have like very strong relationships with federal and state regulators. I think we as a company are just really excited that there is a pro crypto vibe again.
Zero Hash has been building
I'm going to show
regulatory infrastructure.
How they lead kind of regulatory in the US. When they're saying that they're really like that Zebec is going to be on their payment rails, this means a lot. And I've heard too that Zero Hash has many kind of connections with XRP, which we just saw here from Chad Steingraber. But check this out on Securitize's website. So there's some news articles here we're going to look at with Securitize. But there's also this where at the bottom with the whole like disclaimer and all of this stuff, they mention Zero Hash. Crypto services are provided by Zero Hash. and not associated with Securitize Markets LLC or its affiliates. Crypto assets are not protected by Securities Investor Protection Corporation under Securities Investor Protection Act, which is fine. We know they're not securities, they're commodities. But here they say, you know, down at the bottom, which is pretty interesting, there's an increased risk to fall and cyber attack associated with crypto assets and other forms of virtual currency. Zero Hash LLC and Zero Hash Liquidity Services are licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Now, if you're registered to do that in New York, well, then you can be registered anywhere, because New York has its toughest laws when it comes to that. Anybody can attest to that, and certain exchanges are not available in New York. You just can't use them in New York. But Zero Hash is there, and Zero Hash has their liquidity services. Again, that almost screams Ripple to me, right? So look at that, right? When you look at that, you should be very, very, or, you know, I'm not telling you how you should be, but for me, it's very exciting, because it says to me XRP, it says to me New York, like BNY Mellon, it says to me the absolute rails of cryptocurrency is totally with Zero Hash. And we can see that teaming up with somebody like a Walmart, right? We know Walmart's definitely connected, right? And a Fortune 500 and all of that, right? So let's look at some more of these news articles that connect. Here's Zero Hash. Securitize partners with Zero Hash to leverage fiat and USDC funding rails for tokenized assets. And I've gone over this like way a long time ago, right? So definitely check out some of my past videos on Zebec. I think this might have been one that me and Max did a collaboration on. Either way, we've gone over this before, right? So Securitize is very, very, very much hooked up with Ondo. They're very much hooked up with BlackRock. Securitize is huge, right? So now you can say Securitize, BlackRock, XRP, Circle, like all of those together. And kind of out of this came that the original mind map that I did, which I kind of intentionally left Circle off of. If we look at it right here, right? Zero Hash is not only a partner with Zebec, and it's a Bain Capital crypto project. They were funded by Bain Capital, which Simon Babakani was a former advisor at Bain Capital. Well, Zero Hash is also working with Securitize, which we saw here. And we know Securitize also works with SBI Group and XRP. So all of these people are kind of linked in here together. So we got Ondo and BlackRock. We know BlackRock, ADP, Paychex, Assure, which is also partnered with Zebec. And also I could draw a line and say Circle too, which BlackRock is an investor in Circle. So all of these different connections, along with Stellar, which we're going to get into in just a second here. Stellar, we got MoneyGram. Keep that in mind. Stellar, we got MoneyGram. We know XRP Stellar was a fork of XRP. We know Jed McCaleb used to work at Ripple, right? Okay. There's so many different connections here. And we know BlackRock head of digital assets, Robbie Mitchnick, BlackRock's head of digital assets, went to the same college and the same school and knows Simon Babakani. So it's all interconnected here when we talk about Zebec, we talk about XRP, we talk about Circle, we talk about Securitize, we talk about Zero Hash, and we talk about Ondo. All interconnected here. And as an investor, you should be very, very happy about this. And you should be happy about the dip. Right there. Yeah, for sure. Sydney Ashford should be very happy about this dip. Right? Okay. So just looking golden. So let's go back to that press article from Securitize. Partners with Zero Hash to leverage fiat and Circle funding rails for tokenized assets. So again, what this also should show you is it's silly to think that Circle and Ripple are competitors. They're actually using the same rails, same companies, funded by the same people, right? So also take that silly thought kind of out of the loop there too. We've tracked it down, we've looked at it, we've seen it, we know that Circle is on the XRP ledger too. We showed you that before as well. So take all of that out of your mind that they're competitors. They're more like pals, sister companies, sister brother companies, right? And they'll probably have their own little purposes, right? So here, yeah, we pointed this one out before here. Securitize has leveraged Zero Hash's fiat and USDC rails to enable investors to seamlessly on and off ramp Zebec into tokenized assets and Securitize's primary and secondary market. What's in Securitize's primary and secondary market? All of Ondo's stuff. All of Ondo's stuff connects to XLR. Excuse me. Wormhole. So anything in this whole, let me just bring that up. Anything in this whole ecosystem, if it can connect to USDC, can use Circle, can use RLUSD, Alchemy Pay, Aptos, Arbitrum, XLR, and here's BlackRock again, right? Chainlink, of course, Coinbase, all of this, right? The whole gamut. MasterCard, LCX, LBank, Layer Zero, Lobster, Mercado Bitcoin, all of this. Every bit of it. Osmosis, so we got Tendermint, PayPal, Plume, which we just did a banger of a show with Underdog Research Channel. If you know nothing about Plume, check that show out and then also go subscribe to my bro Underdog Research Channel. Plume is going to be a big one for real out here. We're going to have to start doing some more Plume coverage, but of course, go over to Underdog Research Channel's channel and check some of that stuff out. Here we go. Stellar, all of this. Zebec, of course. So let's go back. Securitize has leveraged Zero Hash's fiat and Circle rails to enable investors who seamlessly on and off ramp into tokenized assets and Securitize's primary and secondary markets. Zero Hash's full stack API and SDK infrastructure provides a compliant bridge. They keep focusing on compliance, and it's true, right? If you're not compliant, you can't play in this game. So they're literally locking it up. So, you got to play with these stable coins or otherwise you can't play. Exactly. You see what I mean? A compliant bridge for investors to fund or withdraw both USD via ACH or wires as well as USDC through on-chain transfers. And I'm sure, of course, RLUSD too. USDC on the off-ramp provides real-time 24/7 365 funding mechanism to interact with tokenized assets. Okay, that screams Zebec. And we said this months and months ago. So yeah, very interesting there. And there's another one. There was another press clipping, which for some reason I don't see it here. We'll have to bring it back up. Okay, we just did that. Or no, we did that one. We need to do this one now. Zero Hash integrates with the purchase of BlackRock's tokenized BUIDL fund via USDC conversion. You can put Plume into this, right? But others, right? So Securitize is a leader in tokenizing real-world assets, announced the qualifying institutions can now convert their US DC to USD through Securitize's integration with Zero Hash, a leading crypto and stablecoin infrastructure platform which facilitates conversion between US dollars and digital assets to subscribe into BlackRock's USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund BUIDL. Okay, so who else is subscribed to BUIDL? Like Solana, Velo, right? Or Velo, however you want to say that. Definitely check out Underdog Research's video with me, the Plume. Oops, we're not showing it. Sorry there. Yeah, Securitize integrates Zero Hash to enable the purchase of BlackRock's tokenized BUIDL fund with the USDC conversion. Okay. Securitize, leader in tokenizing real-world assets, announced that qualified institutions can now convert their USDC to USD through Securitize's integration with Zero Hash, a leading crypto stablecoin infrastructure platform which facilitates conversion between US dollars and digital assets to subscribe into BlackRock's USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund BUIDL. So again, this is big time. This is like all the biggest cryptocurrency companies are a part of BUIDL. It's like Solana, Ethereum, Tron, Velo. Like there's so many of them. Underdog broke it down perfectly, okay, in that show. As a matter of fact, let me just bring that show up so you guys can know to go see it. Let me bring it up. It was an absolute banger of a show with Underdog. So if you guys definitely want to know what Plume is, I'm going to show you part of the show, or at least one of his diagrams. Hopefully entice you to go over there and take a look at the show. Wait, okay, so right here. So here we are. Plume intro, real world token with BlackRock ties, game changer revealed. It's one of the diagrams that Underdog hit us with, in which he diagrammed some members of BUIDL that have BUIDL on their books. Aptos, Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, Solana, Plume. There's another one there, Elixir, Ethereum, Avalanche, okay? And there's some others too. There's Tron, there's Velo, which I know just off the top of my head. And if Aptos is there, I'm sure Sui is there. Remember, Aptos and Sui used to be Facebook Libra. Those are the technologies that when they told Facebook Libra, like, no, you cannot be a crypto bank. We're not going to let you because, what is it? Like a fourth of the world or more has Facebook. It would destroy banks. So they told them, nope, you can't do it. But they allowed them to break off into two companies, which were Aptos and Sui. So a lot of different companies are connected into BUIDL. So definitely go over here and check this show out where me and Underdog Research Channel did a kind of an overview into Plume. But again, he has a lot of content on Plume. So you definitely want to go over there and check out some of that content. But I think we'll start talking about it just a little bit. So definitely go check that out. Thank you, Crypto Clay, for the super chat. Thanks for all the amazing work, Rue Goat. Always got those deep dives. Let's go. Appreciate it, Crypto Clay, with the $10 super chat. Let's go. Okay, let's get into it here. So, man alive. This is some great news that we have here from Zebec. with that news. And one thing I noticed here about the OnePay. So here on OnePay, it is like a super app. They can do a lot of stuff with OnePay. And you can see it's kind of like they just white labeled Zebec's whole card system. They're just white labeling it. And Simon told us that they would white label it. So it's not something that they didn't tell us they wouldn't do. Better banking made to help you save. Early pay, OnePay rewards, no monthly fees. And of course, who's doing this? MasterCard. Who did we see on those lists? MasterCard. Who did we see with Zebec's old website? How they had that MasterCard kind of logo embedded in there. This is it. That wasn't sure that was on purpose. $3 cash back on at Walmart or on gas. They got some early savings and stuff like that. But one of the things I wanted to show you where Stellar might be involved is they said they have remittances with MoneyGram. There we go. Send money internationally with global transfers. You deserve a fast, convenient way to send money to friends and family abroad. Right from your phone, send money to Mexico, India, and 140 other countries with global transfers powered by MoneyGram. That is directly Zebec. This is what they used to show us with Amida, remember, with the old website. I don't know if that's still up anymore. We could go check and see, but they showed us that with the old website. So very, very cool here as far as that goes. Amazing. And then let me bring up the other thing I wanted to show you as far as the Federal Reserve. I know that I think Ghost was saying something about Zebec and the Federal Reserve. There was some news that came out about that. Okay. And thank you so much, Ghost, for reposting. Let me like the repost. Let me see here. Okay, well, there was this news too. So Zbcn Nut was on point with this one. I'm not gonna play the sound. Let me see. So you can see the Nike swoosh. Zebec and Uphold. Shout out to Ghost for pointing out that Nike swoosh. He was like, we're not just gonna ignore the Nike, are we? And I was like, oh wow. But you can kind of see they kind of have the Atlanta A at the end here. See, kind of looks like the Atlanta A. And that's exactly the news that if we duplicate this, that Zbcn Nut gave us. So it turns out that news that Zbcn Nut gave us might have been the great news, right? Might have been straight on point. Let me go over here to it here, because he reposted it, and I think I reposted it back. Okay, yeah, there it is. So he gave us this news from Zebec Network. He sent them a message on X. They responded back, and they said their first game would be Atlanta Hawks versus Oklahoma City Thunder, Saturday, October 25th. So seems like that is going to be the first game, because Uphold did just give us that little thing that I showed you there. So shout out to Uphold. Shout out to Zbcn. I can't wait to see what this price does right here, guys. I can't wait to see what this price does, having it this cheap, man. I don't know. This might be the last time we get it like this. We get it cheap like this. Because you can see it's back over the 200 EMA, which is like so crazy bullish. And if they announce the sports betting on the 25th, chances are we go back and pass the cent. And you can see here, we're definitely oversold. We're like crazy oversold. On the day chart, we're crazy oversold. On the week chart, we're oversold. You can see here, it's really flagging. It's really time to kind of just break out of this flag. I really think it's time for that. So we shall see. We shall see. But let me go back to Ghost here. Let's see if we can get that news on. The federal thing that he put on here. Maybe I can't find that news. I could have sworn that he put some news on here about the Federal Reserve. Let me see if I can find it here, guys. My apologies. I just thought about it, or otherwise I would have had it pulled up already. There it is. Okay. Zebec Network posted this. I did retweet it, but you know, we got the day job. The Federal Reserve's first payments innovation conference marks a new era for digital assets and payments. If TradFi is to evolve into ScaleFi, collaboration and the adoption of interoperable payment rails are essential. Zebec, through its stablecoin payroll solutions and partnerships with TradFi institutions in the U.S. and abroad, is building these interoperable rails, starting with real-time USDC payroll streams and expanding to other compliant stablecoins, connecting digital assets with systems that move the real economy. So 12 hours ago from the Federal Reserve, Governor Waller delivers opening remarks at the Payments Innovation Conference. Okay, so I didn't listen to it here, but it's interesting that they called that out. They specifically called out the Federal Reserve doing this. So I don't know if we want to watch that or how long it is. We can attempt to see how long it is here. We may not watch it though. Let's see. Okay, it's 8 minutes. Let's watch it. Why not? And this is cold. I haven't seen this. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
And let me begin to end things by thanking all the panelists and also those of you in the audience who engaged with some great discussion. I'm always struck by the fact, I've said this to a few people over the last day.
Wait a second here. I want to replay that again because it didn't seem like I got the right link. It started at 8 minutes and then all of a sudden it went to like 4 minutes. So let me just do that one more time. Okay, open the room. Okay, that was the wrong one.
My objective in creating this conference is twofold. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Federal Reserve Board for our first Payments Innovation Conference. My objective in creating this conference is twofold. First, I wanted to have a conference that focused on the new technologies that had come from the DeFi and crypto worlds and how they are entering into the mainstream payments ecosystem. My goal is to have a vibrant discussion about payments between traditional payment incumbents and the new entrants from the DeFi world. Second, I wanted to send a message that this is a new era for the Federal Reserve in payments. The DeFi industry is not viewed with suspicion or scorn. Rather, today you are
Wait a second, guys. Understand this is the Federal Reserve saying this. This is groundbreaking. This is crazy, guys. If you're not enthused about what you're investing in right now, like this was everything years ago they told us crypto was not. Crypto will never make it because the banks won't let them. Crypto is fool's gold. It's not going to work. All of this other stuff. And it's happening live right now. This is amazing, guys. This is groundbreaking stuff. Like, it's going to happen, but never did I kind of contemplate and fathom a crypto company's kind of sharing a Federal Reserve talk. That's crazy. But let's continue here.
To the conversation on the future of payments in the United States and on our home field, something that would have been unimaginable a few years ago. My view for the Fed from now on is embrace the disruption, don't avoid it. As you know, we are well into a technology-driven revolution in payments, and I'm here to say that the Federal Reserve intends to be an active part of that revolution. A number of technological advances are transforming the payment system. Stablecoins and tokenized assets making use of distributed ledger technology, the rapid adoption of artificial intelligence AI, and increasingly the convergence between these innovations and the traditional financial ecosystem. This includes the institutions and infrastructure that our economy has long depended on to operate a safe and efficient payment system. And yes, this also includes the Federal Reserve. The revolution in transforming payments is demanding change everywhere. And I will say more in a moment about some new ideas that the Federal Reserve is studying to support those innovations. I have spoken before of what I see as the two broad models of payments innovation in our market economy. The first is private sector-driven innovation. Most innovation comes from the private sector, which is motivated and best positioned to allocate resources and take risk with new technologies. The second model is when public sector entities, such as the Fed, build platforms and provide services that enable the private sector to more readily and rapidly expand new services to its customers. This should be done rarely and in limited circumstances where it addresses a specific market need. The posture of public institutions, including the Federal Reserve, should be to acknowledge and embrace private sector innovation that can improve the payment system while preserving its safety and stability, which are as essential to the new generation of innovators as they are to legacy institutions.
Guys, this is so huge, everything this guy is saying right here. Let's see here. Yeah, I got in late. That's fine. Yeah, we did talk about Zebec's partnership with Walmart. And we didn't talk about the DTCC yet, but we probably will. Let's continue here. We're going to continue on here.
Now let me pull back a moment and remind everyone how we got here. Since nearly its founding, the Federal Reserve System has worked to facilitate payment and settlement system efficiency alongside the private sector. From the beginning, the clearing services provided by the reserve banks obviated the need for daily movements of cash in armored cars with heavily armed guards. Long before we started speaking of the payment rails that are facilitating the kind of innovation we're discussing today, the Fed was running trains on steel rails to deliver and clear paper checks traveling across the country. FedWire began conducting interbank transfers through telegraph wires in the early 20th century. Fast forward today, where we have multiple infrastructures that settle interbank transfers in real time. Today's conference will focus on private sector-driven innovation. We have assembled 100 private sector innovators who are leveraging cutting-edge technology to create new possibilities in the payments landscape. Our panelists are engaging in integrating traditional financial payment rails with distributed ledgers, developing new products and services in the digital asset ecosystem, and leveraging AI in the payment system. It's worth noting that the firms engaged in these activities include banks, asset managers, retail payment firms, technology companies, as well as crypto-native fintechs. This is an acknowledgement that distributed ledgers and crypto assets are no longer on the fringes, but are increasingly woven into the fabric of the payment and financial system. Now, before we hear from these innovators, I would like to touch on roles that the Federal Reserve plays to support the private sector. These include serving as a convener to solve coordination problems and operating core payment and settlement infrastructure. We are also looking ahead, conducting hands-on research on tokenization, using smart contracts, and the intersection of AI and payments for use in our own payment systems. We do this to understand the innovation happening within the payment system, as well as to evaluate whether these technologies could provide opportunities to upgrade our own payment infrastructures and to enable us to have deeper conversations with the industry on these new technologies. While this is a good start, I believe we can and should do more to support those actively transforming the payment system. To that end, I have asked Federal Reserve staff to explore the idea of what I'm calling a payment account. Today, Federal Reserve banks provide access to master accounts and financial services to legally eligible entities following our guidelines for evaluating account and services requests. The payment account would be available to all institutions that are legally eligible for an account and would be beneficial for those focused primarily on payment innovations. This payment account concept would be targeted to provide basic Federal Reserve payment services to legally eligible institutions that right now conduct payment services primarily through a third-party bank that has a full-fledged master account. There are many eligible firms engaged in substantial payments activities that may not want or need all the bells and whistles of a full-fledged master account, or access to the full suite of Federal Reserve financial services to successfully innovate and provide services to their customers. The idea is to tailor the services of these new accounts to the needs of these firms and risks they present to the Federal Reserve banks and the payment system. Accordingly, and importantly, these lower risk payment accounts would have a streamlined timeline for review. Payment innovation moves fast and the Federal Reserve needs to keep up. To be more concrete, let me describe a possible prototype that I've been considering for this type of payment account, or as I sometimes call it, a skinny master account. The account would provide access to the Federal Reserve payment rails while controlling for various risks to the Federal Reserve and the payment system. To control the size of the accounts and associated impacts on the Fed's balance sheet, the Reserve banks would not pay interest on balances in a payment account, and balance caps may be imposed. These accounts would not have daylight overdraft privileges. If the balance in the account hits zero, payments will be rejected. They would not be eligible for discount window borrowing or have access to all Federal Reserve payment services for which the Reserve banks cannot control the risk of daylight overdrafts. Now, I want to be clear that this is just a prototype idea to provide some clarity on how things could change. The upshot is that, in my view, the payments landscape, as well as the types of providers, has evolved dramatically in recent years, and accordingly, a new payments account would better reflect this new reality. As Federal Reserve staff examine this idea, we will engage with all interested stakeholders to hear their perspectives on the benefits and drawbacks to this approach. So you will be hearing more about this shortly. So let me wrap up here so we can get to the really exciting part of the conference, not me blabbering, which is about innovation and the future of payments. So thank you to the panelists who took the time to participate, those in the audience who agreed to be here, and the many others watching online. And a special thanks to Fed staff who moved incredibly fast to pull this event together and fit it into a very busy fall schedule for the Fed. So on with the conference, and thank you for being here.
So that skinny account, I wanted to just have that go through, and then we can go back over it. That skinny account that he's talking about is exactly what Zebec talks about. It's exactly what Stronghold talks about. This is like direct from sender to receiver type account. This is exactly that. Let's go back over it just a second here, and I want to play and show some things here.
This payment account concept would be targeted to provide basic Federal Reserve payment services to legally eligible institutions that right now conduct payment services primarily through a third-party bank that has a full-fledged master account.
So they're going to get rid of these third parties. So this license that they're going to give these prototype quote unquote license that they're going to give to some people like Stronghold possibly, Zebec possibly, will eliminate these third parties. This is what he's kind of implying here. I believe, okay, this is my belief. You know, everything I say is just my belief. This is not definite. This is just my belief.
There are many eligible firms engaged in substantial payments activities that may not want or need all the bells and whistles of a full-fledged master account, or access to the full suite of Federal Reserve financial services to successfully innovate and provide services to their customers. The idea is to tailor the services of these new accounts to the needs of these firms and risks they present to the Federal Reserve banks and the payment system. Accordingly, and importantly, these lower risk payment accounts would have a streamlined timeline for review. Payment innovation moves fast and the Federal Reserve needs to keep up. To be more concrete, let me describe a possible prototype that I've been considering for this type of payment account, or as I sometimes call it, a skinny master account. The account would provide access to the Federal Reserve payment rails while controlling for various risks to the Federal Reserve and the payment system. To control the size of the accounts and associated impacts on the Fed's balance sheet, the reserve banks would not pay interest on balances in a payment account, and balance caps may be imposed.
So basically, this is them providing direct access to the Fed. Now, this is kind of, this goes right in line with what we heard from Sibos, in which Sibos said, a guy at Sibos said, hey, these stable coins go directly to the central bank. So firms that are using these stable coins will have to have like this skinny Fed account so they can go directly to the central banks. Okay, so very, very interesting here. Let's have him continue, and once he finishes, I'm going to correlate some information here.
These accounts would not have daylight overdraft privileges. If the balance in the account hits zero, payments will be rejected. They would not be eligible for discount window borrowing or have access to all Federal Reserve payment services for which the reserve banks cannot control the risk of daylight overdrafts. Now, I want to be clear that this is just a prototype idea to provide some clarity on how things could change. The upshot is that, in my view, the payments landscape, as well as the types of providers, has evolved dramatically in recent years. And
now listen, he said that this is going to be a prototype, but honestly, if once I correlate this information, you will tell that this has been the plan for years. But he's just trying to be, what is it? He's trying to ease people into it, because if they feel a certain way about crypto, they might, you know, be like, oh, are you going to do that with crypto? So he's trying to say, well, look, this is just a prototype. We're going to see how it goes. No, this has been the plan the whole time. But let's continue.
A new payments account would better reflect this new reality. As Federal Reserve staff examine
a new payments account will better reflect this new reality. Yeah. Like we didn't know that this was where we were heading with this technology. But anyway.
Examine this idea, we will engage with all interested stakeholders to hear their perspectives on the benefits and drawbacks to this approach. So you will be hearing more about this shortly. So let me wrap up here so we can get to the really exciting part of the conference, not me.
So they already know the benefits and the drawbacks to this. They already know. And they know once they try it out, you're going to see that it's very, very easy, and it very much benefits you as far as like people getting paid instantly. People are going to be all over that, especially in this financial climate right now. Especially in this financial climate. But let me correlate some information for you here. So I often like to bring this up where Sam Tapalia, founder of Zebec, went on this podcast, and they say here from this, Zebec is a startup that aims to change the way money is transferred. The company wishes to improve the processes for paying personnel, managing subscriptions, investing tokens. Zebec's protocol long-term goal is to facilitate huge direct financial transactions between sender and receiver. So getting rid of the third party. Oh, and there it says it right there. This includes the removal of all third-party individuals. Okay? Now, he hinted at that in the beginning of what he was sharing, right? And that he said, well, normally this would require third-party individuals. Let's just play that one more time to sink it in. So we're eliminating them third parties, right? That's important. Now let's go to Tammy Camp, who says something similar. And this was Bay Area live streams. This was 4 years ago. The thing for Sam that I showed you was, how long ago was that? It was 3 years ago. Okay, I stopped sharing. My bad on that one. We'll go back to the share for Tammy Camp here. So I hate to like kind of burst the veil and say, oh, well, you know, they might be trying this out. It might not happen. No, this was the plan, and it's been the plan. And you see people using the same language 3 years ago. That is not a mistake. It's not a mistake, and it's not a coincidence. Let's listen to Tammy Camp here.
So like I mentioned before, we are building out an asset management platform. We're actually just starting with crypto. I actually see a future in 10 years where, you know, all of the, like where clearing firms don't exist for stocks and bonds. And that's kind of like where we're headed.
Right there. And it said engineers, but she said actually in 10 years. I see a future in 10 years where clearinghouses for stocks and bonds don't exist. That's where we're headed. So essentially removing the third-party clearinghouses. So it's just sender to receiver. And that sender has this banking license, the skinny master account where they can issue a stable coin that directly connects back to the central bank.
So on a day-to-day basis, right now we're building out the retail side because you have to have retail customers and liquidity. So you know, you have value for the institutional investors. What's so powerful about what we're building is because we're built on Stellar.
Built on Stellar.
And because we are a financial institution on Stellar.
And because they're a financial institution, which goes back to what the Federal Reserve guy said. This is a special license for financial institutions. Right here, guys. It's right in front of our face. This is crazy talk, guys. Man alive. This is this is some great stuff. Okay, this is amazing. Well, let's get into the comments here. Wow. Okay, so again, this is the best news I could have today, guys. This is some really juicy news. So let's see here. Let's go back to Twitter here. See what before we go to the comments here, you can see here you can earn 4% on your XRP with Uphold. That's interesting. With direct deposit, that's awesome. Let's just check it a little bit more at Zebec news before we go into the comments here. All right, yeah, so let's get into this a little bit. Now, Uber just announced, before we get into the comments, Uber just announced, I don't know if you guys are Uber drivers out here, but I know Uber, they lowered the amount that they've given drivers like in the past, but now kind of to make up for that, they started to offer side hustles for drivers to earn extra money. So the reason I mention this is because if you're an investor right now, you like, I think the time is very dire for you to be an investor because it's very important. It's very paramount because the way it's going, people are hurting out here as far as money goes. The government shut down right now. Different government services aren't available. Different like government workers can't get paid. And here it is, Uber, because they know they're stiffing their drivers on the money that they used to give them. It's like, well, if you still need money, we can have you do side hustles now. Crazy. Shout out to Maximus Crypto. In the last video that we were talking about, we connected the Overledger to Uber. We also connected the Overledger to Zebec. So it's quite possible that you could have some Zebec technology into paying these Uber drivers, okay? And I can imagine too, if you got them doing these side hustles, there could be something different there to earn too. Chief Product Officer said the idea came back from the feedback provided by Uber drivers who said they'd like to be able to earn even when they're not online or on the road. So what that looks like, if they're not online and on the road, you could just tell your Uber driver, you could tell someone from Uber to do some side task for you. So examples of these digital class include a driver recording themselves speaking, submitting documents in different languages, or uploading images. Uploading images? What? Each task takes only a few minutes. Over time, you'll see a variety of tasks giving you. So this is literally the gig economy right in front of our face, and they're making it sound cool with side hustle, but literally you're now farming out Uber drivers who you took a bigger profit margin from them when you used to give them a little bit more, and now you're making them a personal assistant for someone. Craziness, right? So this is the world we're in right now, right? This is the world we're in where Uber drivers are now personal assistants. Craziness. I also showed you guys where American Dream is now $5 million, right? I showed you guys that. Last show, we went over where, what is it? GoFundMe. They're now saying that more people are GoFundMeing groceries than they are like things like actual emergencies now. We're at this point can you really afford to not be an investor with all of this stuff going on the way it is right now? Here it is, GoFundMe. CEO says the economy is so bad that more of his customers are crowdfunding just to pay their groceries. This is where we're at right now. It's a sad time. It's a sad time, to be honest. It's a really sad time. Like, and that laugh was not for people doing like having this happen to them. It's really nervous because I could really understand like being at this point, right? Like, man, it's tough out here for guys. Really gotta invest out here, guys. But yeah, let's get into the comments here. And let's go back to Zebec. Share screen. Okay, let's go to the top here. Of our comments. Walmart, what do you mean? I mean Walmart, actual Walmart. What's up, Crypto Crossrail Show? We'll definitely share your channel in a second there, brother. What's up, Delta Go Zero? He's still hating on coin out here. What's up, brother? Appreciate you coming through. Stellar and Zebec, let's go. What's up, C-Flow? And we got the video straight here. With hints of connection with DTCC, will Zebec reach 20 cents coming up this bull run? Yes, that's right. They did have DTCC. Simon said that he met with the DTCC. Let me see if I can find that information. Oh yeah, I covered that information. I forgot all about that, guys. Shout out to Marcel. I remember Marcel got Simon to admit that last Spaces. I was like, wait, did they really talk to the DTCC? Last Spaces, Simon said that he spoke to the DTCC while he was at Cybos. That is correct. That is correct. Thanks for reminding me of that, Anthony Gillion. Got so much stuff going on between the day job as an engineer and the crypto show as my iPhone decides to take a header here. All right, we're all good. So yeah, crazy. So this is the company we're invested in. Not only is he talking to DTCC, he retweets what's going on here with the Federal Reserve, and that was very good. That was a very good tweet there. Let me see. They have a closing remarks too. So let's also go over these closing remarks. Let's see if anything is there for us in the closing remarks.
And let me begin to end things by thanking all the panelists and also those of you in the audience who engaged with some great discussion. I'm always struck by the fact, I've said this to a few people over the last day or so, every time I think I have an understanding of what's going on, I go to these things and I realize how little I know. So I have to keep going, so I keep learning and learning and learning. So sitting in the audience today reminds me of how important it is to listen and learn from innovators on the ground, both newer entrants and incumbents alike. Today,
now you guys might say, and you know, we're reacting a little bit to this, right? I haven't seen it. How does he not know? Like his job as a boss or whatever his job is, you can't know everything, right? So he's just saying he's learning about the space too, the tech and all of that. He probably doesn't need to know down to the level of the tech on his, you know, in his role. So let's continue.
Not only to focus on what is happening in the payment system, points made, and ask a few questions. It's clear from our discussions that innovation in payments is coming in many forms. What I heard from our panelists from discussions during the breaks is that the industry is moving as quickly as possible on a number of fronts. From finding ways to interoperate across and between traditional and new ecosystems, to reimagining the consumer purchase experience through the use of AI and AI agentic agents. All of this points to a future where payments move more rapidly, securely, and seamlessly across networks, both domestic and global. I also heard from many panelists about the growing importance of tokenized money in unlocking the next phase of payments innovation. We heard from a variety of panelists about evolving roles that could be played by stablecoins and commercial bank deposit tokens, and the potential efficiency and inclusivity gains these forms of tokenized dollars might deliver. And we ultimately heard a lot of discussion about very classic economics of payments issue. That's at the deep depth of my heart. Beyond technology, what stood out today was a spirit of collaboration across the ecosystem. I've noticed this over the last couple of years. Instead of, dude, we're going to take your job and drive you out of business, which was kind of the crypto world about 6, 7, 8 years ago. It's all like, how do we work together? I mean, this is a profound cultural change in the way people think about these things. We heard bankers and developers speaking the same language about openness, interoperability, and the need for shared standards. And we may have even coined a new term in scaled-fi. Things are changing fast in the world of payments, and it will be interesting to see a year from now how much has changed, or perhaps become more defined about the innovations we discussed today. It remains to be seen just how quickly some of the innovations being discussed now will be widely used or leveraged in the marketplace in the coming years. Now, how quickly might we reach that point, as discussed, say, in which most consumers interact with tokenized money in their daily lives, unaware of the new technologies at play? I mean, that was kind of a theme. Consumers don't care about the technology underlying things. They just want to know, can I use my money to pay for something? Am I going to get money from somebody? They don't care how it gets done. We care about how it gets done, right? We do, to make sure it's done efficiently, cheaply, and safely for those consumers. What will the blockchain infrastructure rails look like, and how many different stablecoins might circulate on these rails? I mean, I think this is a big question. There's a lot of talk about lots of stablecoins, but at the end of the day, consumers have to choose which of these things they want to use. It may be very widespread. There may be just a handful that actually are used, and the rest are just a tail. That's what we're going to find out by letting it loose and seeing what the consumers want to do. And which future innovations that are unforeseen today will challenge our assumptions and understanding what is possible in payments in the future. So thank you all for making this conference such an informative and enriching experience for me, and I believe all my colleagues here at the board. Thank you to those watching online, and a big thank you to the Fed staff who did such a spectacular job pulling this event together in a very short period of time. And with that, thank you and goodbye.
Energetic guy there, energetic guy. Oh wow. Like, guys, this is everything we want from cryptocurrency. This is everything we want to hear from government. This is everything we want to hear from the Fed. They are open arms in embracing cryptocurrency, blockchain, stable coins, and they're doing it with open arms. This is everything that Tammy Camp just told us. This is everything we've heard from Sam Zapalia in the past. It's everything we've heard from Simon Babakani. This is what we've heard from the Securitize articles that I read from you earlier. And this is the coin, this is the token we're invested in right now. This protocol. This protocol is everything that we've said it is. We've seen connections with two of the biggest, most compliant, most regulated stable coins in the realm, in the world. RLUSD and USDC. And we know USDC, the investors in USDC are invested in Zebec. Okay? This is what we're invested in. If that doesn't light a fire under you, I really don't know what will. I really don't know what will. If we look at some of the investors in Circle, we will find out that some of those same investors are invested in our coin here. So when Simon says, as goes Circle, as goes Zebec or Zebec, he's not, it's not hyperbole. It's not cap. It's not, he's not, exaggerating. It's exactly that. So let's see here. Can we see some of the funding rounds of Circle? Okay, I've gone over this in the past, but we should go over it again so people just really understand that Circle, that Zebec is intimately, for lack of a better word, invested with Circle as far as this goes. So fundraising, we see BlackRock. We've already saw BlackRock before with Ondo, right? We already told you that BlackRock's head of digital assets, Robbie Mitchnick, who has Ripple ties, went to school with Simon Babakani, knows Simon Babakani, went to college with him. So the school that matters, college, where you make all the important connections. They went to the same college. They were in the same colleges in like Michigan State. I went to the College of Engineering. They were in the same college, in that college. Okay. BlackRock. Fidelity, another investor in Circle. Okay. You could make some Fidelity connections there. Digital Currency Group, their connections with Digital Currency Group and Coinbase. Coinbase Ventures is an investor in Zebec. Briar Capital is a lead investor in Zebec, which you'll see in just a second. Briar Capital. Okay, so you shall see that in a second. We know Pantera Capital has connections to Stellar. There are Jed McCaleb connections with Pantera Capital. Baidu, we know Tim Draper is invested in Baidu. He's also invested in Coinbase. So when he says, when Simon Babakani says, as goes Circle, as goes Zebec, he's not joking. And there's Jim Breyer again with Circle. Now let's look at Zebec and its investors. I'll just keep this tab up and I'll duplicate this and go over here and share this instead. And then we'll do Zebec. And we'll show you, again, there's Coinbase Ventures. There's Briar Capital as a lead investor, like I said. And then we see multiple kind of exchanges. Gemini Exchange, OKX Ventures, Coinbase Ventures. And then on their website, of course, they have Binance. Lightspeed Ventures, which we know is invested in XRP, probably where you get the some of the Bain Capital and some of the zero hash connections here with Lightspeed. Man, this is great. This is everything we want, guys. This is the token that we're invested in right here. Cannot say enough. Cannot say enough. Probably can't even own enough. Let's see here. Got Biz, what it do? Were you talking on mute? Was I talking on mute? No. I just didn't have my thing plugged in there. What's up, PJ Repa? What's up, Terrell 504? What's good, Rue? Appreciate your research, my guy. Yo, what up, WF Capital? What's up, Zebec fam? What it dooski rooski? Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Bugatti 11 in the house. Creative Control in the house. Let's go. That reminds me, Creative Control's information that he gave us on David Sachs, the crypto czar, being invested in Zebec via Craft Ventures. Gotta love that. What's up, A-Train? A-Train in the house. A-Train does a lot of different spaces on Zebec. Definitely watch out for those. What's up, Walk with the Pride? I'm not sure how to say that. What up, Rue? What's up, Tony? What's up, Marie Villas? We here, brother Rue. Yo, BR and Rue crew in here. Let's go, Dreamer. Patreon crew in the house. Anthony Gillion, we here, bud. Tell me this is real. Yes, indeed it is. Walmart connections in here. Streaming online. Hello, hello. Phantom Beat, let's go. T. Riley. I always want to say Teddy Riley. I swear to goodness. What up, family? Teddy or T. Riley with the T. Riley _05 with the fateful $5 super chat. Let's go. Appreciate it. What's up, brother Jack Thompson in the house? Crypto wealth and perfect health to all. Yes, indeed. Hey, one of my Metallica's guys, cool guy, cool friend, spoke to this guy. Jack Thompson, a wonderful guy. Appreciate you for coming through, Jack. What's up, Phantom Beat? Hey. What's up, Crypto Booming? Crypto Future crew. What up, Rue Black? How you doing? Chilling, brother. Chilling. What's up, Solomon Mitchell? Hello, family. Appreciate you coming through, brother. Crypto Bullish, does DCENT Wallet support Zebec? Yes, it does. DCENT Wallet supports Zebec. I got my Zebec on DCENT. Move my 10 million Zebec to a hardware wallet that I can stake it for 15% APR or whatever the max is for 4 months through the staking. I'm not sure that they support, though. I think you have to do it on Phantom Wallet. I'm not sure about if you can stake it while it's in the DCENT wallet. That part I'm not sure on. I do have Zebec in my DCENT wallet, but the stuff that I'm staking is in another wallet. Walmart can run this to $1 by itself. Man, one would think so, but since a lot of people don't kind of correlate the news, unless people can get the news out beyond my channel, right? Be nice if they also give me credit or, tag me or tag all the people that I mentioned there, Ghost, others. Be nice if they do that. But, be nice if they did that. But, hey, man, it can't be stopped at this point. Walmart, Federal Reserve, Securitize, BlackRock, legal structure, like it's here. It's here, and it's it's here, and it's very happy times. It's very happy times. Yeah, DCENT Wallet doesn't support Zebec, but it does. DCENT Wallet does support Zebec because it's a Solana coin. You can put your Zebec on DCENT Wallet, but I do not think that you can stake it on there. I'm not sure that part. 5 million is the max. I hope they up it. Well, you can do multiple wallets. That is a way around it. You could put it in multiple wallets. So I hear when Coinbase is Coinbase and Binance listing? Honestly, with those listings, everybody think the listings are like something like we saw what happened here with this recent Kraken listing. It actually, It was actually a Zelda, quote unquote, Zelda news event. Sometimes with these listings, you actually get a dump. Okay. I don't think that that's going to be true with certain coins like Stronghold, which were never listed. You know, it's not listed anywhere. You know what I mean? It's very hard to buy Stronghold. You got to know where to get it. But, could Binance and Coinbase listing be something? I'm not saying that it won't be, but I think that people need to not think about that so much as sports betting. All right, so if the 25th they announced sports betting and they actively test it out, that's going to be way bigger than any Binance or Coinbase listing. Way, way, way bigger. Hangman 113. A-Train, they burn per transaction 100%. Effing pre-rich 100%. Oh, that they've invaded 5 million max. That's true. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's true, verdad. That's Spanish for true for you guys who might not know. 5 million max. I actually read that and forgot. But you can break it up into different accounts. Yep. Or put it into a relative's name like your son or daughter. Fred McIntyre, remember to smash the like. Definitely smash the like, guys. That one guy, super fragilistic. I can't even do it, bro. Yes, like the super apps out here, guys. I smashed the like while I was waiting. Appreciate it. What's up, Dawn? Other major listings will help. However, it will still be a waste while the government is still in shutdown and the Fed doesn't ease. Yeah, we'll see how this goes with this this government stuff. It might be quite possible that this kind of eases us into, hey, okay, well, we're gonna put all your government funds on stable coins and you got to take them that way. Maybe that's it. Or maybe they say, we're in such a dire position right now. The quickest way we can get you funds is if we put them on the stablecoin app, and you'll have to download the app. It could literally be something like that. Not saying I know anything, but it could be something like that. Who knows? Damn, that's bullish news. Let's hit the like, fams. They are free. Kraken listing would have probably pumped more if it wasn't for the shutdown. Probably. Sometimes these listings, like I said, they can go the other way. I'm watching the NBA and you bought the dip. Let's go. Pino Q, what's up? What's your price prediction for Zbcn and XPR for December 2025? Again, I have very much hopes for Zbcn to be the 20 cents. Also XPR to, let's say, 33. If things keep happening like this, like where the Federal Reserve is talking about stable coins and, kumbaya, collaboration and cooperation and people hugging and, what I mean? Like, we're not trying to shut you down anymore. We're all with you and we're trying to figure out how we can collaborate type of stuff. If it's going to be like that, maybe we get a lot of action coming up here pretty soon. A lot of motion, as the young folks say. Because ISO goes live the rest of the world, for the rest of the world on 11/22. I mean, like, there's still so many catalysts coming. The Clarity Act, there's so many different things that are coming up as far as catalysts. Like, there is still a lot of big hope for the rest of the year. While Zebec has all those partnerships, yes, indeed. Dips are blessings. Yeah, what's up, Charlie J? Dips are blessings by him where you can. Yep. Yeah, all about crypto. It's not the NBA. By the dips, they are blessings. What is up, Jetpack? We'll have to highlight your stuff too, brother. Zebec, Zero Hash, and Walmart, 100%. Who is buying Zebec daily? I'm around 10 times a day, multiple DCAs. Yes, indeed. Jetpack Crystal Ball. Well, definitely check out the not financial advice or anything like that, but into the top right hand corner of your screen, we have the QR code for BTCC where you can do leverage trading. I know after this big old crash, I know people might be a little bit skittish about leverage trading. And I only use a little small part of my portfolio for leverage trading. It's not something I'm doing with my whole portfolio because of, again, what happened a couple weeks ago. You never know when the market will just do something crazy out of nowhere. But if it's only a little bit of your portfolio, it's not that bad. So let me go ahead and put up my banners here so you guys can see that. Definitely links are in the description for that. Links are also in the description for the Patreon. I just gave them a weekly watch list or bi-weekly crypto watch list. I also gave them a monthly stock watch list. So if you want to see those lists, and we also do an exclusive show with Max and Crypto Future every week. And I also have coaching and I also have coaching over there available if you want someone to coach you on your portfolio. So that is available on the Patreon. Shout out to the patrons. You really, really help this channel work, right? And, I'm going to start moving more stuff to Patreon because, especially after what happened to my bro Max, how they gave him a strike and you're just, kind of jacked up, when stuff like that happens. I am going to start moving more stuff to Patreon. Does anyone know when the super app is coming out? Well, they say it should be out by the end of the year. So we shall see. Definitely check out my episode. Zebec did this. It went over some stuff that Zebec has confirmed for us that before we thought they were not confirmed, but they confirmed it for us. So definitely go check that out. Too much focus on one thing will drive you crazy. At Crypto Bullish wouldn't want to murk yourself, and the bull run takes longer than you think. Salutations, brother. What's up, Detroit 313? Yo, this is the Zebec family. What's up, Crypto Clay? Zebec is coming by the end of the month. Thank you, Anthony Gallion. Crypto Clay, Jetpack in the building. Let's go. Let's go ahead and show you guys Jetpack's Twitter. Definitely go check out Jetpack's Twitter if you guys haven't already. He hits us with, thank you for the repost there. Jetpack, really appreciate it. He hits us with a lot of news on a lot of different good cryptos like Zbcn and some others. Definitely check him out if you haven't already. Who is this bro looking like Should Knight over here? Definitely check out our guy Crypto Crossroads show as well. Let me bring his X up. And definitely go check out his channel, his YouTube channel, if you haven't already. Let me go to it. So Crypto Crossroads Show, shout out to my bro, 719 subscribers, and he only started like 7 or 8 months ago. He's a member of my community, so I know his information is absolutely stellar. You see he has a Nomura-backed group here, Lightlink, SwiftC. He does videos on a few different things here. Mocha. But definitely check out his research on Lightlink, Velo, and others. Kita Network. He has a few different ones here, but primarily Lightlink, Swift, and IXS. Yep, IXS. So definitely check that out. If you check out Crypto Crossroads Show channel if you haven't already. Velo good. Yeah, I like Velo. I have some Velo. I have a bit of Velo put away. Don't forget today's Fed First Innovation Conference. Fed welcome DeFi into conversation on the future of payments of the United States. And we did go over that. Oh, wow. That was a big one there. Pause. Sydney, I'm buying, accumulating every time I can. Those NFL and NBA players already made their millions. They're sat there buying crypto and not blowing it. Zebec. What's up, Frank? And shout out to Crypto Clay again for this. Thanks for all the amazing work, Rue. GOAT. Always those deep dives. Appreciate it, brother. US. I think Zebec will reach $1 way before 2030. I think so too. I think it's on a very upward trajectory. And the stuff they have built in as far as deflation goes, with people using Zebec cards, it can get to $1 pretty soon, I think. You know, and it won't even be too hard, right? So, yeah, let's see here. Coming up in this new year, imagine all these university students in the UK using it. And if it is sports betting like we think, man, let's see. We got about 4 days, but they're teasing it to us. You know, hey, we might wanna up that bag, guys. I feel, not financial advice or anything like that. It's up to you. I feel you. Just don't stress. Don't be in good health mentally. Enjoy it when it comes through. Is it back to $1 before 27? What's up, Shook Focus Digital in the house? Let me highlight your channel too, brother. So if you guys go to my channel and just mosey on down on the homepage, you'll see all the Zebec videos I've done in the last couple of days. Me and Max collaborated on the last two. And then we have Quant and Zebec connections where it was me and King Channing. Then if you mosey on down here, you'll see the feature channels that I have here, right? One of which being Underdog Research Channel, Shook Focus Digital, and me and Underdog Research Channel just did the Plume video that I'm telling you guys to go check out. Which, where is that? It should be recent live streams or something like that. Huh. Well, I don't know where that's at. But yeah, definitely check out the Plume video. If you go to live stream, you'll see it right here. It's definitely slept on, which is crazy that it has, you see this? That it has 63 VPU and this one's lower, but this is like only 756 views. That's weird. That's a weird stat right there. Almost seems like they might be hiding some views there. That's weird. That's really weird. But this is it's a very good video there. It's odd that it would have more VPUs and have less views. I don't know how they're doing that. But anyway, go back to home and mosey on down, and you see Shook Focus Digital right here. But you also see we have some collaborations here. Me and Shook Focus Digital. And then the few with me and Max. So definitely check those out. But yeah, Shook Focus Digital, Maximus Crypto, the Mooniverse. Definitely check out Mooney if you want to do some see some astrology there. Gentlemen of Crypto, Benzinga, One-on-One Media, Crypto Future here, the Ronin Experience, and the Crypto Crossroads Show right here. All right, so let's see here. What's up, Benjamin Awakened? Patreon in the house. Let's go. Could you imagine if the NFL and a NBA player bought yourself about $1 billion Zebec? Yeah, right. Jackpack, my man is in the house. Boing. What's up, Rod? I buy my team. December 2025 low end price prediction for Zebec. Oh, I already gave that one. And do you see Zebec's price increasing in 2026? I definitely see Zebec's price increasing in 2026. There'll be more card adoption. There'll be more people using real-time payroll. Therefore, there will be more people getting the coin bought back. Yeah, this is definitely going to increase in 2026. It's having a nice floor where it is right now. But then imagine once we have the floor of a cent. Imagine then we have the floor of 5 cents. And then we have the floor of 10 cents. And then we're at 33. Then we're somewhere around 50 cents. And then we're at $1. Right? And just keep us going on and on and on and on from there. How much is a good amount to buy? I've been over this in my Patreon. Definitely go check out my Patreon where I do a whole video on this, where like you have to determine for yourself how much is enough. For instance, if I think that Zebec will hit 20 cents by the end of the year, let's just say that I think it'll hit 20 cents by the end of the year, then I would need how much? Let's see here. So if I said it would hit 20 cents, I would need 5 million, I believe. I think that's right. If I have 5 million Zebec and it hits 20 cents, then I have $1 million. Right? So take that, cut it in half. If it reached 10 cents, I would need 10 million Zebec to have $1 million. So really, you have to think about it in your head how much you want to hit. Okay? What's your price target? Where do you want to go? On-chain living. I reposted the stream. Really appreciate that. Thank you for that, on-chain living. Let me go over there and yeah, thank you, on-chain living. I'll have to give you a follow. Man, if Zebec is in a Hawks jersey sponsor, I'm definitely going to get a jersey. Yes, indeed. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I would love, man, I can't wait. I'm definitely getting the Zebec Uphold Detroit Pistons jersey. Uphold, don't feel shy. You guys can just send me one. I would love that. But no, I'm definitely going to pay for one. I would really want an Uphold Zebec Detroit Pistons jersey. I'm a Detroit native. I really love my Detroit teams out here. Man, if Zebec, okay, yep, we got that one. They're probably going to announce Super App Beta before the week ends. Probably so. They might even announce it on the 25th. What's up, Crypto Promised Land? What up, bro? Dinner time, got to bounce. Appreciate it, Clay. No problem. Thank you for coming through, brother. I'll re-listen on my way to work. 3 a.m. comes early. Dang, 3 a.m. Clay. Wow, man. Thank you for coming through, bro. I really thank you for coming through. If you got to get up at 3 a.m., bro, man, star that comment. Appreciate it, Clay. What up, Rue Crew? What's up, Scotty? Big Zebec bags in here. Let's go. Bugatti 11. What up, Scotty? Big bags, big Zebec bags. Let's go. Any word on it? So the NBA, we thinking that we're gonna get the NBA stuff coming in the 25th. Again, they told Zbcn Nut that they might do this on the 25th. They really kind of literally kind of announced it to him as well. He took the initiative and he sent them a message and they sent him back that these were the games that they were working. So according to them, they're working the Atlanta Hawks game, Oklahoma City Thunder, Saturday, October 25th in the NBA, right? So knowing that, right, and if you want to take advantage of quick moves in the market, you might want to get a BTCC account where you can futures trade Zebec. You might want to put a long in there. Not financial advice, but that might be a way to go. And you do get free USDT if you sign up. So link is in the description and the QR code is in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Just something that you might want to think about, especially since we know that might be coming. Just a thought. But I'm not telling you what to do. Do what you want. We're all early boys. Zebec is $1 trillion company. Book it. You can take that to the bank. Let's go. Where is Crypto Clay? Dinner time now, West Coast. Let's see here. Zebec starts with the NBA on the 25th. That's right. What's up, Sewell Boy 14? Anthony reposted the stream. Appreciate it. All the showing tonight is KD's busted hairline. Hey man. Don't be ragging on the people that got some hair left, man. It's too late for me, but it is not too late for KD, man. Just, back off the follically challenged, all right? Just back off the follically challenged right here. Back off the hairline, people. That reminds me, guys. Do you guys ever watch Goose Wayne? Goose Wayne is so funny. He's follically challenged, but bro is hilarious. And yes, that is Goose Wayne. Goose Wayne. Bro is so funny. His clips are so funny. Yeah, NBA is kind of trash nowadays. My mouth dropped when they announced this, man. Mine too, bro. This whole show is mouth dropping. I miss the 90s Pistons, bro. The 88, 89 bad boy Pistons. Man, Isaiah Thomas was Iverson before Iverson out there, man. Tough as nails, Isaiah Thomas, bro. Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars were some assassins out there. In fact, I think they called Isaiah Thomas babyface assassin. Zeke too. So yeah, I miss the 80s Pistons. In fact, they had to have Jordan rules to stop the 80s Pistons from like beating up on Jordan out there. My bad boy Pistons were taking Jordan to the woodshed, bro. So as a Detroit fan, I'm more of a Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson type of guy, because Magic went to Michigan State University, my alma mater. So I'm more of a fan of them than I am Jordan. No disrespect, Jordan. Still the greatest of all time, but I gotta rep Detroit till I die, bro. Let's see here. But you're welcome on the show, Mike, if you want to talk about it. Watching the Rockets game, but I had to check in. And Ruri Trust, appreciate it. Charmizzle 21. What's up, Salamander? Phantom Beat. Could my eyes will change? Let's see here. What's up, Jose De La Torre? Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you coming through. Zebec is the master account. Tony S. There we go. Yeah, they probably have a master's account license. I know Ripple applied for one. It may be Ripple and everybody else kind of gets in underneath Ripple with this master account. But you know what? It might just be that companies like Zebec, Stronghold, Ripple straight up is just going to have a master account. But companies like Zebec and Stronghold will probably have the skinny master. And if you have the skinny master, you can probably do, the most stuff as far as like connecting to Ripple and things like that. And if you don't have a skinny master, you got to work with somebody who has either the master or the skinny master. So It's groundbreaking information, and it's coming straight from the Fed. So it's not, it's not something, we have to guess about. It's right there, documented, as Smoke likes to say. Shout out to Smoke, man. Man, this is the juiciest burger out here, bro. My, that is a tasty burger. Shout out to Samuel L. Jackson. Per Zebek's last Twitter AMA, Zebek cards do not need a bank account to be used. There we go. Alpha here from Jetpack. Definitely deserving of a follow here on X for sure. If you're not Jetpack JL, definitely follow him on X. Jay Share, what up, Detroit, bro? Jay Share 2.0, what up, Doru? What's good, Jetpack? See, it's like family in here. Everybody's everybody knows your name and gives a little shout out. I love it, guys. Keep it up for real. Let's go, Tony S. Ali Randall, greetings, crypto family. All right, we froze for a little bit, but we're good. What's up, Daniel Michelle? Hello, Ruru. Hope all is well. Everything is well. Everything is good, brother. Appreciate you coming through. Phantom Beat. So let's say a company can't pay you money owed through Zebec. You could at least be paid by Fed Res, and that company will owe them. Just a simple use case for sure. But then remember, Zebec has companies like Payroll, and with Payroll, they can hit you. They can meet you with the liquidity you need if you can't make payroll. So there is already a niche, if you will, available for that. If you can't make payroll, they have a company named Payroll, and I'm sure a whole bunch of different companies like that of that ilk are gonna come up and provide liquidity for people who can't meet payroll. Okay, so remember that use case of the company Payroll, which let me see if I can bring them up right quick. So they'll fill in a gap for people who can't meet the liquidity instantly. They'll plug into the system and they can just instantly give you the liquidity if you don't have it. So that's them right here. And we covered them, Payroll. So they have, like I said, it seems like they have a lot of these use cases already thought of, already researched here, What are Zbcn Tribe thoughts on Zebec app? It's going to be one of many super apps out here, guys. As I said early, fam, a lot of Zebec holders now will be millionaires. Book it. Book it. You can take that to the bank. Book it. Book it. You can take it to the bank. Bank on it. How many banking analogies can we get to by the end of the show? Let's see here. Rise above. Cheers, Jetpack. What up, Rue? Great show tonight, Rue. That was a big one. Yeah, man, it really was. It was a big one for sure. Pause. No diddy. What's your low end price prediction for Zebec by the end of 2005? Well, low end by 2025 is 5 cents. That's the lowest end, for sure. Like, again, if we get sports betting, I just don't even know. It's going to be so crazy. Like, I think it can go way beyond 5 cents, right? And we've looked at it here with market cap of a, right? How we've done different kind of price examples. But let's do it again, right? We might as well. Market cap of a, we've just compared here. So for Zbcn to just 4x, that gets us to a cent, right? And that's only a little bit over 1 billion for 1.4 billion market cap. And remember, market cap has a little multiplier to it, so it's a little bit, it's not a one-to-one about how much money is in this liquidity pool for that coin at that moment in time. There is some multiplier to it. Now, if we got to about 5 billion, right? 14x, that's a 5 cents, right? That's the minimum. But you better believe if we can get sports betting, we got this Clarity Act, we even get it in maybe possibly a ETF, man, get out of here. Get out of here. Like 5 would be just the base level. And remember, they've already done the whole thing where they've fast-tracked crypto ETFs. That was written in. So it was an opportune time for the market to fall to a point where companies can come out and grab spot. Maybe they already did it, who knows? But it's still at a low price, all these cryptos. But it was a real opportune time for the market to fall because they already fast-tracked ETF. Like they made a template so you can fast-track ETF applications. So let me see if I can pull that up. Okay, well, here's something. Now there's 155 ETP filings tracking 35 different digital assets. Could easily end up seeing 200 hit the market in the next 12 months. Total land rush. Here's the list by coin. Amazing work from James Seifert. Okay. So we got Near. We got AVAX, Doge, Dot, Say, HBAR, Sui, Binance, Cardano, Near, Chainlink, Trump, Injective, Tron, BTC ETF, BTC and ETH, Bonk, Hype, Atom, Crow, XLR, Uni, Melania, Aptos, ENA, which is Athena, Tau, and OKB. Crazy. I'm surprised we don't see Stronghold on that list, but maybe they don't even want to talk about that yet. Okay, so do they have it here? I know he said it that they had the template, but maybe I need to just get rid of that. Let's say crypto ETF. See what that does. Litecoin and Solana one. Okay, he had some post about this. I don't know where it went. But he said, yeah, if this gets passed through, we'll probably have 200 ETFs. But you kind of already saw it in what I started earlier. He was like, oh my gosh, we see north of 200. So there's some that are probably not on this list, which, Stronghold, right, could be one. Of course, XRP. And there is one XRP ETF, one spot one already, but they're going to be more. So they're ones on this list that I don't know if you deliberately left them off or not. But XRP, Stronghold, and Zebec, right? We could see those possibly. You know what I'm saying? It's 2 cents. I'd be happy at 1 penny Zbcn. What's the connection with the Federal Reserve? Federal Reserve, Zbcn retweeted what I just showed you guys. So that was the connection with the Federal Reserve there. Let me go back to that. Zebec. So right here, Zebec Network, the Federal Reserve First Payments Innovation Conference marks a new era for digital assets and payments. Like they literally just were talking about exactly Zebec's wheelhouse. That's just crazy. If TradFi is to evolve into ScaleFi, and they got this new term ScaleFi now, collaboration and adoption and interoperable. You know what? Whenever they do this and they have like quotations, that's usually something numbers wise. I'm gonna look this up only because I like numbers, and you guys know I've shown you different numbers and stuff. Sometimes we find stuff with numbers, right? But I'm just curious because when things are put in the quotes like that, they usually mean something. But let's see what we got here. ScaleFi. Okay, that makes a little sense. But I have to put together a show on why that actually makes sense for this year. But just to show you one thing with numbers that's pretty interesting. Just if you put in XRP, XLM, XDC, these all have the same number. Let's remove that for now. 14, 5, 4, 1 plus 3 is 4, 2 plus 2 is 4, and this is 13 as well. 4 plus 9, 5 plus 8. So, like, they don't choose these tickers for no reason, right? It's just a whole bunch of different things like this. And when you find these, it's just a little bit of extra juice for you in the market to learn. When you analyze the numbers like this, it's just a little bit of extra juice, right? A little bit of extra knowing to uncover things like this. But yeah. So yeah, Federal Reserve did that. And yeah, they highlighted payment today. That's crazy. And Zebec retweeted it. It's amazing. It's amazing. I still say Zebec will be at 78 cents by the middle of February 2026. If all the catalysts play out, and Zebec is very possible, maybe even more depending. I could see that too, Daniel. I could really see that. Why could I see that? Towards the beginning of the year, people so towards the end of the year, people change around their portfolio because of taxes. And then we usually see a first of the year pump. So it's usually in January or February. It might hold out as much as March, but usually it's in January or February, one of the two. So should we see a pump then? I definitely think we see a pump with the sports betting. Whatever happens with this sports betting, we're going to see a pump out of it. And again, looking at the chart, which we got into earlier, even the chart shows you with the RSI, the stochastic RSI, it is way oversold right now. The week, 2-day, 3-day, the day, all of the long-term indicators are way oversold. Okay, on Zebec. Not a little less so on XRP. 2 days struggling. 3-day, week before the day, XRP is actually up to a point where on a stochastic at least it can come back a little bit. But if you look at the regular RSI, it is still oversold in oversoldish type of territory. But that's why I use both of these, by the way. And I go over charting in the Patreon. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. Less than a cup of coffee for the Patreon there. let's see. Let's go back to this. Sending it since by February, I would fall over dead. Heart failure. That's hilarious. Are ETF stackable? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Curtis Combs. Let's see here. What's up, Pop Tart? Ruel-tober is almost over. Ruel-vember will be a month to remember. Hey, it sure will, bro. It sure will. I love it. Terry Bunn, let's go. Rue L, let's go. Double dare you. How does Zebec card work? Basically, you just load it with crypto and you spend it. It's just like that. I haven't, because I'm not trying to sell any of my crypto, but you can get a Zebec card on your like phone app. So I do have the like phone app version of the Zebec card. I didn't have them send me a physical card, I don't think. But I do have the phone app version of the Zebec card. I just never loaded it because I'm not spending any of my crypto. The listing is what's up, Israel brother 349. Listing is only a dump so I can get some of their money back. It happens with every single coin. It can happen with every single coin. I kind of tend to agree with you on this, that it seems like some listings are dumps, like almost all of them, especially when you talk about things like different coins that are not blockchain. Let me put it like that. When we're talking about blockchain coins, like I firmly believe Stronghold's price, when it gets listed on bigger exchanges, we will see Stronghold's price go up. Okay. But again, they might hold off on listing Stronghold until the price shoots up. So they might shoot the price of Stronghold up to like 30 to 70 to $1, and then all of a sudden you'll hear, oh well, Strongholds are going to get listed on Coinbase and it's going to be like $1.20, and then when it gets listed on Coinbase, it goes down to like 70 cents. So again, certain listings can have this effect. I don't know to say that it happens every time, but it does seem to happen a good deal of the time, like a majority of the time. And I hate to put even a percentage on that, but it's definitely over 51% of the time it happens. Okay. Yo, you still what up? What's up, Super Mario? What's up, Pharmacopoeia? Yeah, silver's a good buy. Silver's a good buy. But again, the cryptocurrency market seems to be a better buy than anything right now to me. It's funny how no one thought my $1.63 XRP price would come to fruition, but I loaded up on the last dip. No one would agree with the anomaly I noticed in the chart, but I'm still sitting real good. Pharmacopoeia, you got to tell me how you noticed that anomaly, bro. You got to tell me what that's about. I won't tell anybody. I'll keep it secret. Just let me know how you pulled that one off. And if Zebec dips more, I'm loading the truck in. I'm investing heavily after the 23rd of November. Let's go. Or I'm sorry, the 23rd of October. We have a $1.99 super sticker from OG Crypto. Appreciate it, brother. Let me dip on this. GLMR, Cast, Jupiter, don't sleep. Okay, got you. Operation no third party, creative control 100%. Operation no third party in the house here, direct sender to receiver payments. That's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. Crypto sometimes is just as bad as fractional reserve banking when it's just honeypot. In some senses, that is true. That is true. There's nothing going to hold Zebec down 100%. Kevin Clark. Wait, how long have you been online? 2 hours now. Crazy. What's up, Salvador Ramirez? How's it going, Ruel, and your community? Appreciate it, brother. The super app probably means well, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know. Maybe. We shall see. We shall see. But it seems like there are going to be multiple super apps out here. Russell C. trying to set me up pharmacopoeia out here, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, brother. 15% staking on Zbcn, 100%. Crypto bullish. Oh yeah, I forgot about the bad boys and Isaiah. Jordan couldn't beat him. That's right. Jordan couldn't beat him. They're the only ones in their prime to beat the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Bulls. They're the only team to do it. Shout out to the bad boy Pistons. Most slept on team in NBA history. Because they beat them all. They beat the Lakers, they beat the Celtics, and they beat the Bulls. Right? Shout out to the Detroit bad boys. Let it be known. Let it be known. Glimmer, all-time highs again, not sure. That's why Jordan. Yeah. What's the meme? What's the Isaiah? The Isaiah Thomas meme. Like, I met the qualifications, but I was not selected. Oh man, I kind of want to play that right now just because of how hilarious that is, bro. I met the qualifications. Shout out to Isaiah Thomas, bro. Shout out to Isaiah Thomas. That's like, and I'm a big Isaiah Thomas fan. One of the biggest heroes in my early youth, bro. Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Steve Eiserman, Barry Sanders. Those four guys, man. Let me see if I can play that right quick. Isaiah Thomas. I met the criteria. Oh man. Yeah. Let's play it. That. I hope I don't get flagged on this, bro.
What went into that process? I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
Then people like made a meme of that. Like, I met the criteria. Oh man. Bad boy Pistons were terrible though. Lambeer and Rick Mahorn, they were bullies down there, bro. They were bullies. Bad boy Pistons team, like, that was real basketball back then. Back when you had like an Anthony Mason, like Charles Oakley, like enforcer down there, bro. Like, if you come into the paint, you knew you were gonna get your head taken off. So when you got a dunk back then, it was for real. 3 people have not smashed the like button. Oh, is it only 3 likes, guys? Come on now. I hope not. I hope we got more than that. Sometimes big events happen when everyone's chasing the ball and adults move the money. Yep. Well, see, that's for real too. Like, just when everybody thinks everything is over is exactly when the market is gonna go up. They study this stuff. I don't know how they do it other than, like, guys study like Sigmund Freud, study what's this guy, the cousin, Um, oh man, Sigmund Freud's cousin. He's like the father of propaganda. I can't remember his name now. Now I gotta look it up. So they know how Edward Bernays, I think it is. He's the father of propaganda, and there's a thin line between propaganda and like advertising. Sigmund Freud cousin, I think it's Edward Bernays. So they've already studied, Edward Bernays. They've already studied how we work and how our psyche is. So they know just how to get you to the point where it's like, I'm done. And that's exactly when the market goes back up. It's crazy how they do it too. It's crazy how they get that done. So if you're just think, when the moment you feel like I'm sick of this, I'm sick of this, I'm done, is exactly when the market's gonna go up. I kid you not. Every time. And yeah, that's Edward Bernays. Okay, we'll go over to this little extra coverage here. Sigmund Freud was the founder of psychoanalysis, while Edward Bernays, his nephew, is known as the father of public relations. There's such a thin line between PR and propaganda, guys. But be that as it may, that's neither here nor there, as Coach Greg Adams likes to say. Bernays applied Freud's psychological principles to influence public opinion and customer behavior. Yes. So, yeah, there's a whole field of study on how we and you react and do things, and they got it down to a science for sure. Bill Lambier annoyed me, showing my age. Yeah, Bill Lambier annoyed a lot of people. I'm surprised he even. They say that's why he never became an NBA coach. It's because people hated him so much, like he could only do the WNBA. But in a sense, you gotta admire a guy like that. That's like so hated. He's so willing to be hated like that to go. He's willing to do the dirty work, right? Somebody has to do the dirty work. Somebody has to do the dirty work, and he was willing to do that. I'm with you, same here. Never too late to get rich. Generational wealth from Crypto Bullish, 100%. Yo, what up, Rue? What's your biggest crypto bag, dollar-wise? Or better yet, what are your top three? Ooh. Well, I don't feel like I'm saying something too bad to the patrons here, because the patrons have a whole crypto watch list. But I'll give you my top two. Okay, how about that? What are my top two? I think my top two are actually for real XRP and Zbcn. Excuse me, dollar-wise. Those are my top two holdings dollar-wise. Hopefully everyone's okay with me after the Amazon Web Services. Yeah, that Amazon Web Services crash. Why were some people trying to connect that to the stronghold? I don't understand that. Rossi, you brought a new cord for your sound. It's excellent. Yes, indeed. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Will there be a super app shakeout? I don't think so. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Salvador Ramirez. Thanks, Ruel, for all your support. Hodl boys and girls. Yes, indeed. How about an app called Payru? That would be a great app. Payru. Let's get that app going. If you want full-time content, Payru. Let's get that app going here. Does institutional buys hit the market cap? That's a good question, Russell C. That's a good question. I honestly can't tell you. I would say yes, but I do believe there's some ways that they can get around things hitting the market cap, in that if you have a broker, if you have certain machines running, they know how to make the market cap, or excuse me, they know how to make the price look like what the price they want the price to look like. So while we might be seeing a price that's depressed, they might be accumulating that whole entire time. Like this big drop we just had. Who knows who went and accumulated after that? And it had to be an institutional type of thing, because they said, like, I think it was I think it was 19 billion with a B. 19 billion left the market on that big drop. Has to be institutional, because nobody knew what was going on. But then you get regular investors panicking, you get newbies panicking and selling. They probably got a whole bunch of people during that drop that panicked and was just like, oh no, let me save my money and all of this stuff. But this is how it happens all the time, and we only go further up when things like this happen. Look at Rona. What happened in 2021 with Rona. Look at what has happened many times with Bitcoin. They instill the fear. They come in, they scoop it up, and then before you know it, a year later, maybe not even that long, they're already past where it dropped off a year ago, like way past it. So I'm telling you, in 6 months' time, people won't even remember this, and we'll be at a new all-time high. Watch. Mark my words on it. Mark it. I can't believe they have memes and ETFs. Yep, and that's going to throw a lot of people off, and that's going to have a lot of people chasing Trump and chasing Melania, right? It's crazy. Braveheart McFreedom, excuse me, booming in the DA. Bonk, you gotta be joking me. Exactly. I agree, bro. I agree. But that's what we got. Thank you for the reshare, Sport Your Kicks. Bonk means something else. I believe it's tied to Dogma and the whole 369 thing. Oh, really? I did not know that. What's the connection to all these dog meme coins? Does it have anything to do with the morals and dogma, just like Doge? That's a good question. I don't know. I know Doge is a Venetian money man. That's like the head Venetian money man, the Doge. But also, and I almost slipped up. There is a meme coin that I have for the patrons. And I will just keep it there. So the patrons have a meme coin that I actually am interested in. What's good, crypto booming? Excuse me. Some more comments here. What's up, Jess Queenin? What's up, Light Tower? Patron in the house. We appreciate you and all you do for the community. Appreciate you, bro. Jess Queenin, what's good? The Payru app. I love it. I'm listening as the process through some Fuji apples. I'm not okay. You doing some stuff over there. Fuji apples are some good apples. I know that's one of my favorite apples. Fuji, Cosmic, and the Honey Crisp. Some good apples right there. Some good apple eating. What's your price prediction for Zbcn and XPR? Okay, yeah, we got the conservative ones. We got that in. excuse me, 5 cents for Zbcn, and for XPR, let's say 15 cents conservatively. Yeah, Fuji apples are so freaking good. I just finished my last, went down the wrong pipe there. I just finished my last Fuji apple today. I gotta go get some more. So freaking good. So freaking good. Try to eat healthy, guys, you know. So all I do is like fruit and beef, really. You know, I know everybody was like, you can mess up and there's too much sugar in fruit, but some comedian said, I'd like to show me somebody who's fat on fruit. So, and that's true. So I got, you know, fruit and beef is about all I eat. Fruit, beef, and chicken. Protein. Fruit, beef, chicken, eggs. That's it. I got a Fuji apple tree, a Honeycrisp as well, planted them myself. Love you, my brother. No problem. Love you too, brother. All right, cool. So we made it through all our comments. 958 in the show here. If you made it to the end, please put in the comments, not in the live chat, but in the comments, please put Walmart. And I'll know you made it to the end because Zebec and Walmart together. Gotta love that. So thank you guys so much for a wonderful show. We're out. Peace.